Hello friends, today this is video number 2 in analytical reasoning and decision making. So this question today I will solve is based on more on decision making than analytical reasoning. There are conditions given and there are candidates, so we have to filter each candidate based on the condition. Either they should be recruited or they should be sent to a particular person depending on their qualifications. So we'll see how to solve this kind of a question. Like I have said earlier, in analytical reasoning, it is very important to whatever data or whatever information is given, we should make it in a tabular form so that we could understand it easily and come out with a result. So I'll read this question first. An organization want to recruit system analyst. The following condition apply. The candidate must be an engineering graduate in computer IT with at least 60% marks, have working experience in the field of computer at least for 2 years after acquiring the required qualification. So first is they should have a engineering graduate in computer IT with 60%. Second is 2 years of experience after qualification. Third is have completed minimum 25 year and maximum 30 years of age as on 1/12/2013. Fourth is be willing to sign a bond of rupees 50,000. Fifth is have secured minimum 55% marks in selection test. However, if a candidate fulfill all other conditions A at 1 above. So if a candidate fulfills all other condition A and B at 1 above but is an electronic engineer, so instead of 1 which says it should be a computer and IT engineer, he or she is an electronic engineer with 65% or more marks, the case is to be referred to the GMIT. So there are exceptions. If there are condition fulfilling except 1, and the exception is the candidate is an electronics graduate and he has got 65% or more marks, then he should be referred to GMIT. Second is except 4. So 4 is willing to sign a bond of 50,000 but have an experience of at least 5 years as a software manager, the case is to be referred to VP. So there are 2 exceptions. For first, instead of computer and IT, he is an electronics graduate with 65% marks, then he is referred to GMIT. Second case is if he is not willing to sign a bond, he should have 5 years of experience as a software manager and he is then referred to the VP of the company. So now let us see. You have to carefully study the following information provided in each case and take once the following course of action. All these cases given as on 1/12/2013. So answer is 1 if the case is referred to VP. Answer is 2 if the case is referred to GMIT. Answer is 3 if the data is not sufficient to take a decision. Answer is 4 if a candidate is not selected, is to be selected. If a candidate is selected. Fifth is if the candidate is not selected. I'll repeat. First is referred to the VP. Second is referred to GM. Third is decision cannot be taken. Fourth is candidate is selected. Fifth is candidate is not selected. So now we'll solve the question. So there are 5 questions based on this. First question is Miss Sunita is an IT engineer with 60% marks at graduation as well as in selection. So how will solve? Sunita. There are 5 conditions. Engineering graduate with computer IT. She is an IT engineer. So condition 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then A and B. Sunita is an engineering graduate in IT. Condition 1 is satisfied. She is working as a software engineer for 3 years after completing engineering degree and we need 2 years. So second is also satisfied. Third is she has completed 27 years of age. So the age criteria is 25 to 30. So third criteria would also be fulfilled. Fourth is she is willing to sign the bond of rupees 50,000 and she is willing to sign the bond of 50,000. So fourth is she is willing to sign a bond of 50,000. Fifth is 55% marks in selection test, and she has secured 60% marks in selection test as well as in graduation. So she is fulfilling all the 5 criteria. So I'll write A here, B here, and then final selected. For selected, the right number is 4. So fourth answer is correct if the candidate is to be selected, and Sunita is selected. Second, Rakesh. So Rakesh Rao is a computer engineer graduate and thereafter is working as a software manager for last 6 years. So Rakesh Rao is a computer engineer. He has secured 72% marks at graduation. So he is a computer engineer with 72% marks. First condition is satisfied. And 67% marks in selection test. 55% marks in selection test is condition 5 is fulfilled. 67% marks in selection test. His date of birth is 5th December 1984. So 1984 to 2013, 84 to 2000, he is 29 years of age. So he is fulfilling this condition third as well. He is not willing to sign the bond. He is not willing to sign the bond. So fourth condition, he is not willing. Work experience 2 years. He has 6 years. So when fourth, he is not willing, but he has. So 4 is he is not willing to sign the bond. So in case of exception at fourth, but has an experience of at least 5 years. So he has an experience of 6 years instead of 5 years. So this exception applies to him. So if a person is not willing to sign the bond and he has more than 5 years of experience, अगर किसी के पास 5 साल से ज़्यादा का वर्क एक्सपीरियंस है और वो पर्सन 50,000 का बॉन्ड नहीं भरेगा, तो हम उसको वीपी के पास भेज देते हैं. तो वीपी के पास, go to VP. This is option number 1. Third question. Ram Kumar is an engineering graduate in computer with 78% marks, passed out in 2007. So Ram Kumar, engineering graduate with 78% marks, passed out in 2007 at an age of 23. Since then he is working as software manager in an engineering firm. He doesn't want to sign the bond. He has cleared the selection test with 72% marks. So selection test criteria he is fulfilling. His age is 2007, he has passed out, and today is 2013. So 6 years work experience he has, and he is not willing to sign the bond. And his age was 23, 6 years before. 23, so he must be 29. Ram Kumar must be 29. So he is also referred to VP. Go to VP, option 1. Fourth is Nishant is an electronics engineer, passed out in June 2010 at an age of 22 years. Since then he is working as a programmer in a software company. He has passed the selection test with 66% marks and is willing to sign the bond. So he is willing to sign the bond. His name is Nishant. Willing to sign the bond. Passed test with 66%. But he is an electronics graduate. So he is not a computer IT graduate. So this is not fulfilled. Second is he has a work experience of 2010 से 2013 3 साल. यहाँ हमें 2 साल का वर्क एक्स चाहिए, तो 3 साल वाला क्वालिफाई कर जाएगा. थर्ड इज हैव कंप्लीटेड 25 इयर्स, 3 साल 22 साल, तो 25 साल वाला भी ये इधर हो जाएगा. देन electronics engineer, and his percentage is not given, because if he is an electronic engineer So his percentage is not given. So data is not sufficient for us. If he is an electronics engineer and then he has got 65%, then we can send him to A, which is GMIT. But since there is no percentage given, हमें नहीं पता कि निशांत के कितने परसेंटेज आए थे जब उसने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन से इंजीनियरिंग करी. अगर उसके 65% से ज़्यादा होते तो हम उसको ए में GMIT के पास भेज देते, बट अभी हमें नहीं पता कि हम डिसीजन नहीं ले सकते. तो उसके लिए सही ऑप्शन क्या होगा? If the data provided is not sufficient to take a decision, which is 3. Last is Kalyani is an engineer with 72% marks in telecommunication. So Kalyani, so we'll send him to GMIT based on this. On the telecommunication में 72% marks हैं, तो हम GMIT के पास इनको भेज सकते हैं, बशर्ते हमारी ये बाकी चारों कंडीशन फुलफिल हो. सो 25 years of age, cleared with 59% marks. 59% marks. ओके, सो 55 से ज़्यादा है. 27 years of age, 4th भी फुलफिल है. willing to sign the bond. बट हमें ये नहीं पता है कि हम उसका एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन कितना है. इज एन इंजीनियर इन 72% मार्क्स इन टेलीकम्युनिकेशन, इज कंप्लीटेड so according to this question we don't have sufficient data. We don't have if she has completed this. So data not sufficient again, 3. So this is how we have to solve. We just have to go through question very carefully, know what are the requirements, and then correspondingly tick each of them, and we would very easily get to the answer. Thank you friends, thank you for watching the video.